From the soundtrack of Hotline Miami and Hotline Miami 2 Wrong Number, synthwave legend Perturbator brings you his latest album, Lustful Sacraments on vinyl. 9 tracks of dystopian electronic music. Listen to what critics are calling a game changer for the genre. Holy shit! I got a DUI while listening to this. And for a limited time, call right now and receive a copy of the album with Perturbator's Blood for the low, low price of $5,000 plus shipping and handling.
Welcome back to tonight's program. Next up, we do a deep dive into the world of record collecting. Much like any other hobby, record collecting involves a deep devotion in both time and finance. We interviewed several record collectors throughout the Valley and explored this most recent and most expensive music trend. A big plastic disc containing 10 or so songs, some of which you may have heard over the radio, able to be played at 33 rotations per minute at a moment's notice. The vinyl record has come a long way since its inception in the 1930s. You've likely seen vinyl records go for $7 to $10 at your local mall. For most people, that's about as far as they're willing to spend for a single album. But for collectors, they're willing to do whatever it takes to get their hands on the rarest of records. Ghost of Eastside Records in Tempe, Arizona is one such spot for both casual music fans and devout record collectors. And one of them just so happened to be someone we've spoken to before on the program.
Hey, what are you guys doing here?
We're doing a segment on vinyl records.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, it's too bad though because I had to give up my whole collection because I had to pay for penis enlargement surgery.
From radio hits to obscure gems, Ghost of Eastside Records takes pride in supplying a wide array of records.
I started working here in 1987. You know, whether I was running it all along is debatable, but the store opened in 87, so I may have more or less been running it in a way for a long time. It was early on, maybe there was a group of us doing it. It's mostly been me for at least like 15 or 20 years now.
How long have you worked here?
About 2 years, actually. Crazily enough, next month, 2 years.
Collections, I bought a whole store once. I probably spent like $25,000 buying that store.
I had been begging for a job here for over a decade for sure, so.
I got a word from someone on the grapevine that someone there is in possession of an extremely valuable Perturbator record.
We asked the owner to evaluate what Dave was attempting to sell.
Dude, the guy at the record store told me this wasn't worth anything. What am I supposed to do to cover the cost of my penis replacement surgery?
There's these impossibly hard to get records that I've never seen. You know, you want to talk about like Robert Johnson 78s to go for like $13,000 or something. There are such things.
What would you consider your holy grail of collector records?
Right now, probably. I mean, I got the thing that I considered that.
And there's only 20 copies of a special version of this album that have been blessed with Perturbator's blood.
Does it sound different than a normal copy?
No, but...
I actually traded something I got here for it, which it was a 7-inch by this band called Mensch. It's like the first thing Butch Vig, who produced like Smashing Pumpkins and Sonic Youth. It's his first ever record he produced, but I don't like it for that. I like it because it's just really fucking like weird.
There's a reason it costs $5,000.
$5,000!
Mid-heavy, noisy, hardcore punk from like 1981, and that's what I like, so.
But no, there aren't, I don't think I really think in those terms, and you know, I'm not sure what you mean by Holy Grail on that, like, I don't know if it's like personal favorite or something that's...
Yes, personal favorite.
You know, that's a shifting thing. I have a bad perspective because I've been working a counter like this for 40 years.
You tell me you don't have $5,000 just laying around in your bank account? Oh yeah, I forgot, you're divorced.
I'd rather not talk about that.
That's okay, man, I feel the same way. Although,
you feel divorced?
Playing records like 8 hours a day.
I totally get that.
How much that is, that, you know, it's what I am into shifts frequently, just from overexposure.
Oh, no. I guess you did get kicked out of your club.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a divorce, except in this case, my wife wasn't 17 and a half years old.
I have a really skewed perspective because I probably played as many records as anyone you'll ever meet. And for, you know, since 1982, I've been playing records all day long, you know, 5 days a week at work. So I'm going to have a really off perspective on that. There's a lot of things I like a real lot. There's not just one that would be singular to me. There's hundreds that would be in the pile of what I like the most, really.
All right.
Depending on whatever my mood might be or where I'm at in life at any moment.
Dave leaves the store defeated, settling only for the one King Gizzard record he could find. The next day, we followed Dave Gonzalez to the Mesa Record Fair, in search of what he believes to be the rarest record of all time.
Now I got a word from someone in here that the blood record is in there, and I'm gonna go get it myself. If I gotta fight, I don't care how many people I gotta fight, man, woman, or child, if you are in my way, you will be destroyed.
I've been collecting about 40 years.
40 years, and this whole venue's yours?
This is the second time we've been at this venue. We put my store, Uncle Aldo's Attic, puts on a record show as much as we can. So this is the second time we've been at this location at the American Legion in Mesa.
I got all kinds of stuff. I spent close to $500.
What's it like being married to a record collector?
It's like really freaking weird. You know, these guys are obsessed. They stop everywhere. They go to every yard sale, every estate sale, any place there might be a record, every antique store. I have been in some of the weirdest places you can imagine.
I've spent like $1,000 on a butcher cover one time. I regret that, but you know, you have to when you really want something. But a collection, maybe the most I've spent is like $5,000.
I did find this beautiful grail that didn't come here for it.
This is a great record. The in sound from way out. It's like weird electronic shit from like the late 60s, kind of mid 60s.
Well, we were in New Mexico, I mean really literally in the middle of nowhere. And he goes into this trailer and I thought, I'm not going to go in when he's getting these records. The guy comes out with a wheelbarrow. Another guy is like limping along and I'm thinking, okay, this is like The Hills Have Eyes. Like what's going on here?
The Beastie Boys did like a cover of this whole album. It's just,
Oh, wow.
It's just weird. You put this on in the store and like it drives people away because it's very odd. You know, it's all electronic. It sounds babies crying. I mean, it's really cool. It's a holy grail. It just came in the store the other day.
I'm not going to say what the name of it is there. You can see the name of that there.
I'm thinking, my phone doesn't work out here. If something goes wrong, we're going to be dead. But they came out with a wheelbarrow full of records.
This is my third of 3 bags, so it's going to be a good Saturday night for me at the Fraser House.
Can you tell us any horror stories about record collecting?
Well, the horror story is he keeps coming home with more and more and more. So there are 2 bedrooms full of records. There's a storage locker full of records. Every room in the house is full of records. And when people come to my house, they're like, oh, we didn't realize it was so bad.
Despite bribing at least 4 people with expired Baskin-Robbins coupons, Dale still can't find the record he's searching for. Dave, or Dale, or honestly who gives a shit, leaves empty-handed once again. Now, Dave's search for the coveted Blood album may have met an unsatisfactory end. Mine did not. For viewers, I have scored the coolest record of all time. Now, you may be wondering how I came across such a record, and the answer's quite simple. I shoplifted it from Circuit City. Plus, I stole Dave's information and replaced it with some bogus one, so he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, like an idiot. Suck my dick, Dave, you suck! We'll be right back after these messages.
From the studio that brought you Hotline Miami and Hotline Miami 2 Wrong Number. Comes the final chapter. Of the bloody saga. Hotline Miami 3 Revengeance. Coming never.